Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Moltrap here, coming at you with another StarCraft commentary, and this is going to be a match between Jaedong. It's going to be the yellow Zerg player in the bottom right here, and he's going to be playing against Hiya in the top left-hand corner here. And as you can see on the stats thingy up here right now, they are actually both on the same team, Hwasheng Oz Jaedong and Hwasheng Oz Hiya. So I have actually no context for this game at all. I'm not sure if it was from a tournament or a practice play or what. I have no idea where it came from. It was just a random replay on TL. Had two players that seemed pretty good, and it was recent-ish, so I assumed it was not broken. And I did actually load it up, and I skipped to the end to check to see if it was broken. It didn't seem to be broken. I didn't see what the result was, though, so I don't know what's going to happen here. But should be cool to see this game, a nice little Zerg versus Terran, just to mix things up a little bit. And yeah, curious to see how this goes. The fact that this is both them listed as Hwasheng Oz players means that this replay is probably from several years ago, I'd imagine. But I cannot tell. This is this is a map that I played a while back as well. So who knows? Who knows? Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off all this stuff. Oop, I always click the wrong one. No, not that one. That one. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to turn all the stuff off there, and we'll watch and see what happens in this game. If for those of you that didn't catch the Pro League Finals match that I did, and is he going to do a fast command center here? He might be doing a fast command center, because right now, he's not really doing anything else. He's built nothing else on the map. This can't be broken, right? No, okay. I was like, is this broken again? It's only been 1 minute in. How can it be broken? Yeah, he's gonna do a quick command center, a quack command center even. Jaedong going for a quick hatchery was very normal, of course, but yeah, command center first is pretty gutsy. It's kind of a gutsy thing to do, but it's almost like an economic cheese I've heard it referred to before, because if they don't catch it and they don't do anything about it, then you can just get a huge economic advantage into the mid game, and it can be really, really strong. So, are we going to see Jaedong do anything to punish? Probably not, because he's cross-map positions, and Hiya just kind of got lucky here, actually. He just got lucky. He's scouting a little bit late, and that's the thing with cheese, is you have to get lucky, essentially. Getting a barracks down at the top of the ramp. He's already building a door because he knows that he's going to have to be very defensive. I'm actually a little surprised we don't see the barracks here in addition, just to make that wall even tighter, because if you go for a fast command center, you're very vulnerable, and we do see that he didn't go for like 3 hatcheries or anything like that. Well, not before the pool. So Jaedong has his pool up. He's just probably gonna make a couple Zerglings. Is he making any Zerglings? Actually going for mostly drones. Yeah, so he scouted this and he's like, all right, well look, I'm cross map, there's no way I can really punish this. He's going to have Marines out. He's going to have this little mini wall thing going on here. Not really a way I can punish it, so I'm just going to drone up myself and try and catch up economically instead. So he's built 2 Zerglings to chase the SCV around, but nothing else. He's just building all drones at this point. So he's droning up heavily, trying to get back in shape economically. Hiya does have the second command center. It looks like he's only mining gas with 1 SCV. Just enough to kind of keep that trickle of gas incoming so he can build a factory eventually at some point. But also, again, he can't really invest in tech. You can't invest this much in economy and go for an early command center and then also invest in tech. So just a little bit of gas, to actually, he may actually be saving that gas up for an upgrade instead of a factory at this point. Get those upgrades rolling pretty quickly. Jaedong getting his 3rd hatchery, just droning up like crazy. And he kind of knows he can get away with it at this point. He knows that Hiya isn't going to be going for a fast command center into a fast attack as well. It just doesn't work that way. So he's like, all right, well, I'm able to sit back a little bit and just kind of chill. Zergling's going to come up here and scout to see what's going on. And here, I mean, he has a handful of Marines, and we may even see him actually kind of push out, not like out of his base that much, but like just kind of dance around a little bit, see if he can find an overlord, see if there's any Zerglings out in front of his base. But it's even a little bit dangerous to that, because now he doesn't have information. His scouting SCV has died. And so if Jaedong was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to build, is this another hatchery? It's a Spire. in an odd place. So if he scans the main, he actually won't catch that spire with his scouting, actually. He doesn't have a scan, obviously, but yeah. So what I was going to say is it's a little bit dangerous for him to move out there away from his door, because if Jaedong had like 24 speed zerglings, Hiya just dies. Hiya just dies if he's out here. If he's back here, he doesn't necessarily just die. He can pull SCVs. He can... Okay, there's the comsat stations going down. He can have this choke point. It's hard to get us around. And of course now he has... looks like 10 Marines. He's got more coming as well. So, oh, and the medics actually. Medics popping out. So now he's going to be pretty safe. And he's got this nice little squad. So now he can kind of push out a little bit and try to put a little bit of pressure. Because again, you know, if you're just sitting back in your base, you're letting the Zerg do whatever they want, basically, right? And we actually see Jaedong has saved up. He's saving up larva. He's probably saving up money. Is this the right panel? Nope, not that one. Is this it? There we go. Yeah, he's got a bunch of money in the bank. He's got the Overlord capacity as well. We're going to see like 10 or 11 Mutalisks pop right now. Boom! 9 Mutalisks all at once. Beautiful. Right as the time that Spire finishes. And we just saw a comsat station. I didn't catch where it was. So, yeah, I thought he just scanned a moment ago. But maybe that's the sound of this comsat station completing. In his main. That might have been what I heard. In any case, he does have scan available, so that's good. He's probably going to be wanting to save it in case there's lurkers or something like that. Jaedong getting a 4th base up in the top right. Very smart move. Well, it's, you know, it's kind of necessary. I mean, but this is the thing, is part of the reason why Mutalisks harass in the mid game is so strong is because you can keep the Terran pinned back. And what's the point of keeping the Terran pinned back in their base if you're not going to use it to take control of the map or get more economy going, etc. So that's exactly what he's doing. He's got these 9 Mutalisks. Looks like he's got some Zerglings in the wings as well. And he's just saying, just dancing around, just threatening that he's going to do some harm just to keep Hiya from moving out, basically. And Hiya is like kind of toying with moving out anyway. He's only got these 2 medics, but he's got 4 medics. I'm sorry, a ton of Marines here. I don't know if he has stim upgraded yet. He probably does. There he goes. He stims and chases, and that's exactly what he wanted to do. He loses a couple of Mutalisks. That's actually pretty bad. But he also got a lot of energy off those medics. He killed off 1 or 2 Marines as well. Here comes in with some Zerglings. And again, this is just a dance of death right now, with Jaedong dancing back and forth, just saying, no, don't attack my natural. Don't attack my natural. Come after my mutas. Just trying to bait him in. I mean, this is like, I think I used this metaphor the other day already, but, you know, when a mama bird sees a predator going towards their nest, they act injured and then run away from the nest to try and bait them away. And here we go, and stimming across the bridge into the natural expansion. Jaedong doesn't have anything here. He's having to bring his mutas back. There's 1 sunken call and a few Zerglings coming from behind. Could we see Jaedong fold right here and now? These Marines are doing a ton of damage. Both the sunkens go down. A few Zerglings coming from behind, and the mutas are able to... oh, and there's the... Okay. That'll do it. Okay, so there's the lurkers coming down. If those lurkers had been in earlier, that would have gone horribly for Hiya. But, and if they'd come in later, it would have been really bad for Jaedong, actually, because he still would have continued losing mutas. So, just barely able to hold things off. We did see that he was attacking up the side here, and he was able to scan and take out the lurkers on the ramp. It looked like there was only 1 lurker on the ramp, so Hiya actually beautifully able to come in here and snipe this top right expansion, and doesn't even lose that many Marines yet. He's going to lose them in just a moment, though, once these forces get here. And then Jaedong even bringing in some drones. He's going to be able to rebuild that hatchery. Actually, he might want to target down those drones to stop the hatchery from going up. And not going to happen. He's going to get one more Marine. I'm sorry, 1 more drone. And replants that hatchery. So Jaedong looking in good shape. And critically, Hiya has just been going off 2 bases. He has not taken a 3rd base at this point. He probably would want to do that at some point before too long, but just continuing to build off of 2 bases, has gotten up a good group of medic Marines at this point as well. So he's still in good shape, but the fact that Jaedong has lurkers means that he's going to be able to have that map control. Obviously, we did see that one lurker on top of a ramp is really good. But it looked like Hiya was actually able to like get a kind of a nice little arc around that ramp and was able to fire up to the high ground without taking too much damage. That's really interesting that he was able to do that. Maybe if the lurker was placed a little bit farther back, he would prevent that or something like that. Stimming to try and kill off some Zerglings. And again, Hiya trying to put pressure with this group of units, trying to put pressure on this top right location, make sure that Jaedong can't keep getting expansions. Still only on 2 bases, basically. He's got 3 hatcheries, but still only on 2 bases right now. So really not the best position for Jaedong to be in. In fact, I think I said he took a 4th base up here. I meant third base, but 4th hatchery is what I had in my mind. And this is what he needed as well. The lurkers on the other side of these bridges is just a really, really strong position. It's really just almost impossible to move across that, because if you can get an arc around the lurkers, even Marines can take care of lurkers pretty well, but there's no way to get us around. They're going to have to come across this bridge and take multiple splash damage coming across that bridge. It's just too costly of an attack to go across that. Of course, they can come around the side here as well, and so that's an opportunity for him as well. He can just come up this ramp, come down around here, etc. Tanks are now in the mix as well, which are going to be really nice for dealing with lurkers. He can just, if the lurkers are, sieged up in a location, he can just siege up his tanks and assault them from afar. What are these medics doing? They're like, we're the first responders. We're gonna go see what's going on over here. Getting a little bit ahead of their Marine counterparts. Just doing some scouting, just casual scouting medics. And here we go. These lurkers are not in the best position. Is he going to be able to get a swarm down? Swarm! There we go. Swarm saves him. That was crucial. A crucial swarm. If that swarm had gone down 5 seconds later, those lurkers would be dead. He's moving out his lurkers. Another swarm goes down. It's going to push them back even farther. Don't know if that was quite necessary to get that second swarm down right now, because he's not really chasing him into anything. He's not really taking advantage of that situation. But just pushing him back away from the hatchery, I guess, getting some fallback location, I suppose. Hiya now is just kind of positioning around the map, just maneuvering around with this force in the middle. He does have a science vessel out, which is very crucial for dealing with the lurkers. He doesn't have to depend on scans, although he does probably have a lot of scans worked up. No, he's been using his scans to scout, so doesn't have a lot of scans in the bank. But again, he can get away with it because he does have the science vessel, so that's going to be fine for him. And Jaedong just holding on by the skin of his teeth. This is just classic Zerg play right here. Just using a few units, and oh, is it going to irradiate the Defiler? Maybe not. Maybe he's just going to sit there. That works too. They're just going to have a little party. Okay, there's the Defiler getting irradiated. And here he has those units on that ramp. He could come around the side. I think maybe he was expecting Jaedong to take this base, as a matter of fact. But he has not, so no danger there. But yeah, you see the Zerg player is able to defend with a few units oftentimes. Just a few lurkers and a Defiler and some Zerglings to support. You can defend against a large Terran force. And so that's how the Zerg is able to kind of stay spread out. But it does mean that they are spread thin when that happens. And oh, he lands one Scourge. Is he going to land? He does land the second Scourge on the vessel. That is going to really slow Hiya down from coming into this expansion. It looks like he's actually been using all of his scans up to scout. Yeah, so he doesn't even have a scan available right now. So he's going to have to be forced to fall back there. And Jaedong gets another few minutes to continue building up his forces. There's the metasynaptic node being researched for extra Defiler energy. After my brain farts in the last games, I've just looked up Defilers just to make sure I knew exactly what the symbols were. And because, I mean, come on. The symbol for researching plague doesn't look like plague. It looks like someone blowing up, right? Give me a break on that. Anyway. Hiya now positioned to take this bottom left base, and that is pretty crucial that he's able to take this top left and this bottom left. Hiya's going to have a huge economy going right now, and Jaedong really needs to do something to kind of catch up with that situation. Right now, the Zerg is the one that needs to be expanding around the map, or attacking and picking off expansions. And this is a crucial moment, actually, where Jaedong could theoretically, well, I mean, this base up here is not very well defended. A few Marines wandering around are not going to be enough. He could run in some Zerglings there, especially if he's able to sneak in a Defiler with them. He'd be solid. Here we go. There's the Consume. He needs to get down the Swarm, I think, before they attack, because otherwise he's going to get irradiated by these Science Vessels. Now, this bottom left base, though, I'm not sure how he's going to be able to get in there. Maybe because Hiya has his medics and his Marines separated again. Yeah. Oh, and we got a couple Fire Bats in the mix just in case as well. Good for all the massive amounts of Zerglings that are going to be dealing with it. I mean, you can't... Fire Bats do their damage under Swarm as well, so it's good for that. But you would need a lot of fire bats obviously to make complete use of that. And here he comes. Oh, a beautiful plague hits all of the science vessels, and that is just exactly what Jaedong needed actually. And I kind of want to go to the production tab to see if he's making any. Yeah, he's making one Mutalisk. One Mutalisk, ladies and gentlemen. That's all it takes. If you can get one Mutalisk in, one glaive can kill off. Actually, they're left with 3 health, so maybe not. Maybe a couple glaive hot shots. Here he comes in. 1 scourge each will also kill them, but the Marines are 2 on point. There comes the consume. He gets down a swarm just in time to protect this base. And oh, the spore colony! The spore colony. I didn't even see where it is in there. Its spore colony is somewhere in there. Is able to polish off all of the vessels. All the vessels go down. That is huge. He's even got this Muta waiting in the wings just for that occasion. But Spore Colony is taking the Muta's glory. And here's that Zergling Runbow that I talked about. He's getting a lot of SCV kills over here. The Marines are in a position to clean up, but it looks like he killed off several SCVs in the meantime. Critically, though, this bottom left base is looking really, really nice. Really juicy. Starting to get factories down here as well. And another barracks. Looks like he's just using that space. He's not switching into mech, I don't think, but he's producing 2 starports worth of vessels as well. Lots of Marines being output in addition to that. Zerglings and Defilers, a nice Plague goes down. Plague is beautiful when used with, especially with Lurkers, because, oh, and he's able to get down a Swarm just to save himself, I guess. Is that Lurker gonna be, nope, Lurker can't get underneath the Swarm, so that Defiler's just like, The Walking Dead, I guess. As soon as that swarm goes down, it's gonna pop in an instant. And I'm just kind of waiting for it to happen. Don't worry, I'm watching the top right though. Come on, come on. All right, anyway, not that crucial. We do see a drop here on the top right, and this is actually really, really bad. He needs to get in there. If he can get a nice plague down and a swarm, or even just a swarm would be nice. There's the swarm. It's going to be able to do a lot of damage. He actually is not on top of it. He could have easily picked up those Marines back in the dropship and gotten them out alive, but instead they all go down there. And lots of Scourge coming around. Is going to be able to pick off this dropship with a couple Scourge. Hiya does have a significant force wandering around the middle of the map. Looks like he's going to try and target one of these other bases. Okay, there's another dropship full of units, and oh, the Scourge are going to kill it. It's full of 2 Marines. Never mind, only 2 Marines left in there, so not a huge loss. Ultralist tech is in play though, ladies and gentlemen, and here he comes in. He doesn't need a dropship if he can just march a large army in there and just kill it off. Few drones going down, the hatchery going down as well. Counterattack coming in this other side here as well, but the tanks are too strong on the high ground. He doesn't have any defilers with this. If he'd had some defilers, that could have been a successful attack theoretically if he'd managed to hop swarms up to the ramp and managed to get some shots up the ramp or something like that, but not able to accomplish it after all. Vessels count is starting to grow back up again. It looks like he's got 4 or 5 vessels now, continuing to produce multiple vessels with 2 starports, multiple meaning 2, I guess, and able to maintain a strong presence on the map as well. Jaedong struggling to get that Sauron Zerg going. He's trying to get bases all over the map, which is really needs to do. He needs to start taking more bases and just really get his economy up so high that he can just refill quickly, basically. Oh, are we seeing a drop over here? Oh, nice drop. Defilers. 1 Defiler Lurker, but no! The Marines are in a perfect position. Oh, no! Oh, no! 3 Overlords get killed off with a ton of units in them. Huge death. And he's even going to lose this last one as well. Oh, no! Huge loss for Jaedong. Losing a ton of units. The Overlord's just completely full, and he's going to come in here and irradiate the Mutalisk as well. And is he going to be able to get a plague down on those vessels? Nope, he's actually doesn't have a Defiler nearby, so that's going to make it really hard for him to plague the vessels, actually. Looks like he was trying for another drop over here, and there's too many turrets and some Marines as well. This is really not going well at all for Jaedong. Oh no, he cannot lose those Overlords without doing damage. It looks like he finds an angle though, but there's not as many turrets. He's going to drop Ultralists on top of those tanks. Beautiful play. There is a Defiler in there as well. Swarm's going to get planted down, and the Defiler does die, but not before he gets a Swarm on the ramp. Just 1 Ultralist parked on the ramp means that these reinforcements cannot get into this second base, and the Ultralists are going to do significant damage. This is all of his secondary infrastructure, all of his factories, his extra barracks, and of course his mining are all going to be going down here because that 1 Ultralisk is like, I'm acting like that Defiler, except look at all those bullets just ricocheting off of him. That's just a ton of damage. It's like a little fireworks show on the front of his spiky horns. And now the Zergling's the one taking all the damage. But that swarm's going to go down very soon. And he is going to be able to break up here and kill off all of these, probably all of these. It would probably behoove him to get all of these Ultralisks back up in the Overlords and escape now that he's done all this damage. No, another swarm comes in from the side. And the Ultralisk is able to do significant damage, especially with the Plague as well. He's able to split his Scourge and the Vessels go down too. Jaedong with masterful play is able to just completely obliterate the armies of... obliterate the army of Hiya. Of course, Hiya is producing a lot of units from his main base still, but Hiya's now down to this mining and a little bit left on this mining as well, because Hiya was basically betting all of his mining on this bottom left base, and it looks like he was going to try and take this base as well, and now he's just down to mining off basically one base. Jaedong has rebuilt this top right. He's rebuilt the top right expansion. He's gotten this bottom middle mining. He hasn't quite taken this base yet, but he's doing really, really well in terms of economy. Hiya's not out of this yet, though. Look at this giant ball of army that he still has left. He didn't lose those vessels earlier than when he was kind of moving into the expansion base. He was able to maintain his vessel count, so he's able to run around rampaging. Oh, never mind. Well, loses one vessel. But this is what you need to do. When you get these vessels up, I mean, vessels are just actually just awesome. They are these late game units that have renewable value, basically. Renewable value is what you need in the late game. And just by rebuilding the energy and getting the damage down and falling back is exactly what he needs to do. And that's what the Defilers are as well in a lot of instances, but usually the Defilers are pretty weak. Oh, here comes in with some Zerglings. The Zerglings soaking up damage so the Defilers can get close enough to swarm. They get swarms on top of the tanks and the Marines. Is he going to be able to get a Plague down? The Plague goes down as well, hitting the vessels and the Marines, and they are going to go down, and things are now looking extremely grim for Hiya. This is not looking good at all. He's going to have to try and remax here. Let me see if I can pick the right panel. That's not the right panel. This is the right panel to check this supply. Jaedong up 170 to 130. Not a good situation at all. Hiya does have another force built up, though. He is so good at macro. Pushing out with another significant force here. And there doesn't seem to be a Defiler in the area right now. He does have a single Hydralisk that's been running around attacking. I couldn't click on it fast enough to see if I had any kills, but here we get a run by. There's a Defiler in the mix, gets a swarm down and a Plague. The Plague just catches all those Marines before they're able to get out of range. And look at this, he's chilling underneath the swarm long enough to get another swarm down to get in a better position. The Marines fall back, but it doesn't matter. There's too many Zerglings coming in here. Hiya going for the counterattack, though. If he can kill off these top right bases, it will get him back in the game. Is he going to be able to do it? The Nidus Canal comes out. The Defiler comes out. It's been irradiated. It's at half health. Can it get down a swarm? It does get down one swarm in time before it is killed by the irradiation. And it's going to hold him off for now. But there is still a significant force of bio with these tanks, some vessels as well to join in as well. So it's not, Hiya's not out of this yet by any means. He's getting close to it though, because right now he's barely mining at this base, and that is not a good situation at all. And here we go. Let's check out the Carapace, by the way. He does have the upgraded Carapace. 1+5, 6 Carapace. No, sorry, 5 Carapace. Armor, 6 armor rather, with the 5 Carapace. These Marines are not doing almost any damage. They do have +3 weapons, so they're doing some damage, but it's just not. It's just really difficult to kill those Carapace upgraded Ultralisks. And here we come in. He's trying to move across the ramp. He takes up a stable position on the ramp, and these Ultralisks are just going to dive into their deaths. The Defilers were not in place and not able to get a swarm down. There's the swarm, but it's too late. And there's the GG from Hiya, because the swarm went down, the Zergs were underneath, and I think the most crucial part about the GG right there is the fact that he was not mining anywhere on the map, basically. This base never was able to get back up and running. This command center was just floating in the air the whole time. He wasn't able to get this extra base, was never able to secure this, and had lost a lot at this base as well. So GG, GG for Jaedong. And the G in GG stands for Jaedong. Did you know that? No, just kidding. Anyway, well played by Jaedong to defeat his teammate Hiya. Hiya, not a slouch at all. I mean, Hiya is not a player that you would expect to win like a best of 5 against Jaedong, but he is someone that stands a good chance of beating Jaedong in a straight up game. And this was a straight up macro game, and you know, it could have gone differently. If he'd been able to secure this bottom left base, if he'd maybe had a little bit better reinforcements here in this situation when Jaedong did that huge drop, could have been spicier. And I thought for a moment that Jaedong might have lost control of the game when he lost those overlords in here full of units and was not able to drop the main. I didn't realize he had another drop. That was just like a distraction drop, and he had another huge drop that he was able to barely, you know, I mean, if there had been like 3 or 4 more turrets here as well, so those overlords couldn't have quite got in there as easily. Might have been a different game as well, but just played it beautifully. The one swarm on the ramp, with the one Ultralisk on the ramp underneath the swarm, secured this game for Jaedong. Because that made it so that he could clean up this entire base, which ended up being cleaning up the lifeblood of Hiya in the game. And that was just really, really well played. So if things had gone a little bit differently in those fights, Hiya stood a chance, but the long game was not his to have in that situation. Anyway, that's going to do it for now, and thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, I don't know where this is from. Could have been a practice game. It might have been just like a practice game or something like that, just a random replay I found. So, yeah. Just a cool game to watch. I think I'm gonna probably do some more MSL 100 games. I really do enjoy those. I know the potato quality video sucks, but it's really, really cool to see the old legends playing, and so I'm gonna keep switching back and forth those. Also, I only have, you know, there's only so many good replays to find. I mean, there's tons of replays, but the ones that are high-level games with pro players that are gonna work on my computer, that aren't gonna just die because the replay gets broken, are not easy to find, so I'm kind of having to space it out a little bit between everything. Anyway, yeah, I guess I will stop rambling and end this video, so hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, GG, and I'll catch you next time.